Hello and welcome to Red Instead Autism Acceptance Month, which is April 2020, day 11. And well, the topic that I chose for today might be, I don't know what it might be. It is, well, about the future. And basically, I recently realized that I actually have no idea about what I want my future to look like. And I was a little surprised by that, because it seems a general concept that people sort of know what they want to do, at least at a certain age. Although, like, generally, I mean, people ask kids what they want to be when they grow up, so, you know. Yeah, and it's actually a very difficult thing to know. And as I said, until recently, I didn't notice that I actually had no idea, no real concept about that, even. And just future is a very, very vague concept for me, and I'd be interested about this whole thing if, you know, any other autistic people want sort of, if you either have the same problem or the same, you feel a similar way or a totally different one. And you know, the older I get, the problem with sort of planning for the future, I guess, or knowing like what you want your future to look like is, well, first of all, that the older you get, sort of the more is expected of you. Not just like until you're like legally adult, but just even beyond that, like there's, or at least where I live, like until you're a certain age and make a certain amount of money, like you don't have to pay taxes, and you don't need to, like, you know, do that sort of thing that like comes later on. And so even after that, there's more and more stuff, like you go to university, and then after that there's even more things you need to do because you need to apply for jobs and so on. And I mean, I'm not there yet because I'm a very, very slow with university. But yeah, the older you get, the more it's expected of you, and the more difficult it becomes to do all of those things. And so sort of the less energy you have. And then on top of that, to sort of know what you want to do with your life, you need an amount of self-knowledge to know that and to be able to decide that. But the problem is, when you're autistic, you can only really sort of start to learn about that once you know that you're autistic, which can be quite late for some people. Or even if it's not, you sort of at some point need to actively start researching it and understanding that, because even if you do know, a lot of the times you don't really get told a lot about it as a child, which I don't think is a very good idea, but that's what happens most of the time, because I don't know, parents don't want their kids to feel different or something, which is kind of a weird concept, but I think that's a topic for another day. Okay, so I ran out of space on the flashcard? I can't even remember what it's called. Anyway, it's a little bit later, the cat has joined me. And yeah, I'm not quite sure where I was. Also, I've eaten something, so I have slightly more energy now. Anyway, I think that you know, day to day, a lot of what we as autistic people, or at least I, do is just, well, surviving, basically. We're just trying to get through the day, to get through the next day, and so on. Because a lot of things are exhausting, and a lot of things are required of us that are hard. And not in a like hard so you learn new things from them way. So sometimes, you know, thinking about more than just how am I going to get through the next day and the next week and maybe the next month, and anything more than that, like what am I doing in 5 years or in 10 years or even later than that, can just sort of be forgotten a little bit, because there's just more pressing issues in a way. And it's sometimes just getting through day-to-day life is just so exhausting that there's just no energy left to really think about anything more than that. And maybe there's also just a part of, I don't know, this is very philosophical, but maybe there's just a part of being more aware of everything, like the cat, what is going on? Yeah. That sort of, in a way, makes you live in the moment a little bit more. But the downside of doing that is that, well, you don't really make any plans then, and the sort of other time, everything that is not immediate, sort of can stop existing a little bit. So that sort of makes this idea in our culture, I guess, that we have to have this like plan of where we want to be at kind of any certain time, that makes that kind of hard. And well, to be honest, sort of my solution hasn't really been to not to try to force myself to sort of make plans, because I find it very, very difficult, because there's just so many things that I don't know and that I can't predict about that. So I've sort of decided for myself that I'm just gonna learn what I want to learn and what I'm interested in, and I'll see where that leads. And I don't know, but I mean, I'm a fairly optimistic person, I'd say. So I sort of, in a way, have a trust that I'll somehow be able, that somehow that's all gonna, something is gonna come from that. And I'm not entirely sure if you can really plan for the future that much. And well, yeah, I think there's the Germans have a very good word for that. Of course they do, they're the Germans, but for what I'm trying to describe. But It's the word that I'm thinking of is Urvertrauen, which it's basically the literal translation is ancient trust, and it basically means a sort of trust that somehow you're going to be all right in a way, even though things may be hard, but sort of a trust in life, I guess, in a way, where yeah, everything, well, not everything, but you'll survive in the end, although technically, well, anyway. I think I find it very difficult to know what I might be doing, what I might be interested in 10 years, and what I might want to do in 10 years and 15 years. Yeah. And so basically I just don't bother trying, and I just do what I'm interested in now and learn what I want to learn, and try not to think too much about the sort of, what are they called? You know, getting a bachelor degree or whatever, getting any sort of degrees, and just trying to learn stuff. And I know that I'm in a very privileged position in a way to be able to do that, or at least attempt to do that in a way. But I mean, it helps that I live in a country where going to university doesn't really cost money. But yeah, I think I'm starting to turn in circles again. I think so. I think I know I'm all too many things. Hello from editing room station thing called desk. Yeah, I'm editing, and well, this video is all over the place already, so I apologize. Yeah, but while editing this, I kind of realized that I'm talking a lot about just like university and sort of job related in a way things. And I didn't actually mean that entirely, and because, well, to be honest, I haven't even started thinking about anything else yet. Because just things like having to live on your own, and you know, having to do everything by yourself and organize everything by yourself. I just don't see how that's supposed to happen, and keeping like a normal 9-to-5 job thing at the same time, that just doesn't seem realistic to me. Yeah, I just wanted to add that I didn't think the things that I filmed quite gave the impression that I meant that as well, and I just wanted to point out that I do. And my camera's about to run out of battery again, so back to the old video. So this video is done now, hopefully. It's only taken me like 3 hours to make, because I had to make the break and change the cards. But anyway, if you've enjoyed this semi-philosophical video, can't find any other way to describe it, I would appreciate it if you could, you know, give it a thumbs up, or if you haven't already, if you would subscribe to my channel, if you would like to have more videos like this, or different videos that all somehow surround the topic of autism and being autistic. And I will hope to see you tomorrow. Oh, and if anyone wants to give their own perspective about this topic, you're very welcome to do so in the comments. Yeah. Goodbye.